don't believe in stupid journalism, innit? You know what I'm saying? That. Honestly, like, you lot got me out here defending Arsenal on a weekday, innit? And it's so jarring, bro. This whole like set piece gimmick, I find it so ridiculous. And I say that because like, when did we start like complaining about how teams win? Arsenal have the most goals in the Premier League. They've got the second most goals from open play. Only Man City have scored more goals. They've got the best defence in the league. By every metric, Arsenal are the best team in the league at present. I don't understand like where we got to this place where we're complaining about how they're winning games. Like I get the joke about, you know, set piece FC. You know, I think 9-10 goals from set pieces to go 1-0 up. But it's not as if like it's one rule for Arsenal, another rule for the rest of the league. Like everyone's allowed to have set pieces, bro. Like, but the thing that gets me all the time when we call Arsenal a set piece team is that like, you don't get set pieces by accident, bro. Like, you don't get set pieces in your own half. You don't get set pieces defending a low block. You have to try and score. And by trying to score, you generate corners and throw-ins, right? Like, Arsenal don't play football for corners. Like, if you actually watch how Arsenal play, for the most part, they get the ball down to the wings. Saka tries to take on his man, or Timber or Calafiori underlap. On the left side, Martinelli, Trossard, they try, you know, take on the man, get shots off, block crosses. Arsenal play football. They might not play aesthetically pleasing football anymore because, truthfully, the players that they have outside of Saka, they're not elite. Realistically, the truth of the matter is, a lot of Arsenal's attacking players outside of Saka won't start for a top 6 European team. Let's be real. But also, like, we're complaining about Arsenal and like the way they play football. And again, I don't support Arsenal, so I care less how they play football. But there was a time where Arsenal used to play champagne football. They had likes of Nasri, they had Mesut Ozil, they had Alex Leb, Fabregas. You know, they've had players here who are technically sound, like world-class players who can play at any level, at any club. Like, so, but when they had these players, they weren't winning. They weren't in title races. They weren't competitive. Like, I remember going to the Emirates Stadium to watch Arsenal versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and they got rolled over 5-1 at home. I think they lost on aggregate 10-2 or something. And Arsenal were playing good football at this point, but they weren't playing winning football. So for me, it's like, you've gone from playing good football and not winning to playing football and winning. And we're complaining about the style of football they're playing. Like. And like I said, you don't get goals from set pieces by defending. Like, you don't create corners and free kicks by defending. Arsenal are also not a team that spam crosses. Like, realistically, they've got Gyökeres up front, but how many times do you see Arsenal cross the ball over and over and over again? They don't actually do that. So this whole idea that like they're a set piece team, like it annoys me, because if you actually, and I don't like Arsenal. I do not like Arsenal. But if you actually watch how Arsenal play, a lot of teams just sit in and defend. And I support Liverpool, right? And one of the things that Liverpool don't know how to do is score set pieces. This year, 2026, Liverpool have started scoring set pieces. I think prior to that, Liverpool had maybe one goal over 100 corners or something like that. And Arne Slot has complained time and time again about low block and not being able to break down the low block. The difference between Arsenal and Liverpool this season especially is that when Arsenal have faced the low block, they've just found a way to win. Like, teams are not going to give you the respect that you want and go toe-to-toe with you when they know that you've got players that can kill them. And I say that because I was listening to an analyst yesterday, and he said that, you know, like, Arsenal get to the Champions League and, you know, every team in the Champions League has an identity and Arsenal will struggle. But I mean, like, we've seen Arsenal in the Champions League this season. They played against Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich went toe-to-toe with them, and Arsenal rolled them off the park 3-1. They played against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid went toe-to-toe with them. Arsenal rolled them off the park 4-0. Then they played against Inter Milan at the San Siro, toe-to-toe. Arsenal rolled them over 3-1. Like, Arsenal have shown that if you play them heads up, they can punish you. They most likely will punish you. And then I'll even look at, like, this season and last season. Man City went toe-to-toe with Arsenal at the Emirates. They got rolled over 5-1. Like, so much so that Man City went to the Emirates this year. They scored a goal and they had 10 men behind the ball. I've never seen Man City ever play football, ever, with Erling Haaland defending it in his own half for 40 minutes. That's the respect that he has for Arsenal. That's the respect that Man City have for Arsenal, and the fear that they have for Arsenal, because they know that if they play Arsenal head to head, as they did last year, they might get smoked. So, like, you know, like, to call them a set piece team, it doesn't make sense, honestly. It really makes no sense. And for me, like, set pieces are part of football. Liverpool, we used to be really good at set pieces. Like one of our most famous goals came from a set piece corner taken quickly. You're never going to take that away from me and say that, oh, we're a set piece team. Like, Arsenal don't only score set pieces. And honestly, like, having to defend Arsenal really annoys me. But what I don't like is being a prisoner of the moment. Like, we've always had set pieces in football, but Arsenal are just better at it than other teams. Like, and the reason Arsenal have to be good at set pieces is because there's a lot of teams that play Arsenal and they just sit in. So you've got a choice. Either you sit in, concede set pieces and defend them better, or you play Arsenal heads up and roll with the punches. Like, but in the last year and a half, you've seen teams play Arsenal heads up and you've seen the results. So you can't sit there and say that they're a set piece team if you're not going to actually try and play. And more to the point of yesterday, like, Chelsea are not the biggest team anyway. Like, but you can see the corner against Arsenal, and you've got Reece James defending against Gabriel Magalhaes, who is the most dominant defender in the opposition box currently. Like, that doesn't even make sense. And I get the point. Like, you know, if they don't win the league, then 100% there's going to be questions being asked. But if I'm top of the league, I've got the best defense in the league, and I've scored the second most amount of goals from open play. I've actually scored the most goals in the league. What are we complaining about? Like, I don't get it. I don't like Arsenal. I don't want Arsenal to win the league. I do not enjoy Arsenal. I don't understand how, as a footballing community, we can then criticise them for doing something that everyone's allowed to do just because they're the best at it. Come on, guys, man. Like, if it doesn't end up being effective for them to win, you know, the Champions League or the Premier League, then by all means, another conversation will be had. But for me, whilst the team is winning, you have to respect what they're doing. Right? To complain about it, for me, just sounds very bitter. I don't like Arsenal. I don't want Arsenal to win the league. But if they do, you have to respect them. Like, end of the day, yeah, to win a Premier League, you've got to be the best over 38 games. Arsenal are currently the best. And if they end up winning the league, it's because they deserve to win the league. Not because the league was poor or because they went on set pieces. Because they figured out how to be the best team over 38 games against 19 other teams. And for that, you have to respect. And if you don't like it, figure it out, man. Like, bro, winning is everything, man. It don't matter how you get it done, as long as you get it done. So, this set piece thing, bruv, dead it, man. Like, let's be real. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But it's not easy. Arsenal have mastered it. And for that, they should be respected. Because when Liverpool were bagging in set pieces up and down, it wasn't even a conversation. Like, I'm seeing articles from that, you know, BBC back in the day, innit, about Liverpool being set piece kings. I didn't even notice these things. Because for me, winning is the most important thing. I don't care how you get it done. Just get the job done. But now, we're making a big thing about it. You got commentators and analysts, like, complaining about it. Saying Arsenal are boring. Arsenal are winning. Like, Arsenal are not the most boring team to ever win a game, or ever win a league, or ever maybe win a league. There have been worse teams than Arsenal. Like, come on, guys. What are we doing here, man?